And so for 2 weeks, I sat in one place and I prayed as many hours as I was awake, and I fasted as many hours as I was awake, and I would just fall asleep literally on that place. I would wake up and I would just pray again and again, asking God, what is the way you want me? After 2 weeks, to no avail, I had no answer. And I really got frustrated. I just thought, forget it, you know, what is this? I have no chance of finding out what he wants. I don't even know if God exists. And I have wasted all my life. I have been afraid all my life, you know, trying to do everything that would please Allah. And now he confuses me. If Allah is all great and he sees the heart, he knew in my heart I love him. And what matters if I call him whatever name I call him? He knows in my heart I love him. And if it does matter to him, I ask him. For 2 weeks I sat, prayed, and nothing happens. So, you know what? I'm going to go do my own thing. I'm going to go walk my own path. I'm going to do what pleases me. Obviously, at that very moment, I felt the power of God filled the room. Now, in Islam, the greatest sin you can commit, and you can never be forgiven for that, is doubting God himself. Doubting his teachings, doubting his prophet. And I had done that. And in Islam, they teach you that Allah never visits, God never visits human beings. I feel, and I know against Islam I have committed the greatest sin that can never be forgiven. God's presence is in the room, and I'm confronted immediately with his holiness. All this is happening simultaneously, and I'm confronted with his holiness, which puts this weight of sin upon me. And I know that because he is just, he must kill me. He must wipe me off the face of the earth because I'm so full of sin. And I cried because I literally didn't want to die. But I knew there is no chance. He was so holy and I was so wicked. So I just ran to the corner of the room and I held my head in my arms and I just cried out, God forgive me, God forgive me, God forgive me, God forgive me. And I just said, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. And as I was crying and just saying, forgive me, I felt a touch on my shoulder saying, I forgive you. And the very instant those words were spoken, I physically felt forgiven. And I couldn't understand it. I said, wait a minute, we say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God who is merciful and gracious. But we don't know if we are forgiven till the day of judgment. That is why there is not one single verse in the Quran that says Muhammad is in the heaven. He must wait like all people for the day of Qiyamah, the day of resurrection, and all shall be judged on that day. So, how is it that, who is this God that says, I forgive you and I feel forgiven today? And I asked, I said, who are you? They can forgive me and I feel forgiven today. And he says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. The moment I heard those words, I knew it's of a great importance, but I had absolutely no idea what that meant. I still had no clue who this God is. So I asked him, what is your name? Jesus Christ, the living God, he answered. And the moment he spoke those words, it was as if every single bone was taken out of my body and I just fell on my face to the ground and I started weeping in the presence of God. I just wept. I still can't, this 18 years have gone by, but I still can't forget his love, his mercy, and all the forget what is for me that day. And she just forgive you. I felt forgiven. I fell on my face. I just wept because for many years I had tried to please God, but listen, nothing I had done was pleasing to God. Nothing I had done. It wasn't even the right God that I had known. I felt so deceived because they told me this is God and He wasn't God. They told me, "Qutlu fi sabilillah," kill in the way of Allah. And then this God says, love in the way of me, forgive in the way of me. And it was everything my heart existed for. It said, yes, this is the truth of God. God is about forgiveness. God is about love.